Hey MCE crew, Elon Musk is building a robot that's going to take away your jobs. Now I don't want you to trust me on that. I want you to listen to Elon in his own words. And I want you to understand what he's developing, what its capabilities are, and what the ramifications are for jobs in this country, and what he sees as the solution to getting people a wage in that environment where they have no job. All right? Without further ado, here's Elon Musk.
This, I think, will be quite profound, because if you say it like, what is the economy? It is, at the foundation, it is labor. So what happens when there is, no shortage of labor? This is why I think long-term that there will need to be universal basic income. Yeah. But not right now, because this robot doesn't work. So we just need a minute. So yeah, but I think essentially in the future, physical work will be a choice. If you want to do it, you can, but you won't need to do it. And yeah, I think it obviously has profound implications for the economy, because given that the economy at its foundational level is labor, I mean, capital equipment is just distilled labor, then is there any actual limit to the economy? Maybe not.
All right, you heard it from Elon himself. Universal basic income. Let's talk about that. What is universal basic income? Well, look, it's a dressed up name for welfare, okay? It's a mechanism by which the government will pay you a regular stipend. We're going to get into the details here in a second. But it's welfare, dressed up under another fancy name. And let me tell you something, in this day and age, you ought to be able to understand by now that if you submit to a universal basic income, basically a monthly stipend, a welfare payment from the government, then you're going to be totally controlled, okay? You can see right now that there are scenarios under which the government is saying if you don't take a certain drug, you're fired, all right? So it's clear that they don't mind separating you from your income in the event you don't do exactly what the government says. And you think it'll be any different under a universal basic income, I got a bridge to sell you. So computers, intelligent machines, and robots seem like the workforce of the future. And as more and more jobs are replaced by technology, people will have less work to do, and ultimately will be sustained by payments from the government, predicts Elon Musk, the iconic Silicon Valley futurist who is a founder and CEO of Solar City, Tesla, and SpaceX. And that's important because Elon Musk, he's a show-enough technologist. This man knows what he's doing. People laughed at him when he was when he talked about creating the rocket that landed vertically. And here we are. It is the standard, okay? If you got a rocket that splashes down in the ocean, you look ridiculous these days, okay, compared to Elon Musk. So he takes these ideas and he makes them into reality. And robotics has been something that has been talked about, and Boston Dynamics has done a lot with robots over the past decade or so. So it's coming, all right? Elon's robot, as you heard, can lift 45 pounds. A lot of warehouse jobs will be happy to hear that a robot who's not going to bitch, moan, be late, take a sick day, worry about religious holidays, deaths in the family, overtime, all that. A lot of manufacturers, especially these warehouses, companies like that, are going to love this robot. Musk says as we develop these new technologies, he doesn't see any other option besides universal basic income. This is a quote. There's a pretty good chance we end up with a universal basic income or something like that due to automation, says Elon Musk. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to do. I think that is what would happen. So you're going to be relegated, this is the plan, to a subsistence living. Now, if you're on a universal basic income, I want you to understand, your level of production is non-existent under this scenario where the robots and the AI are doing all the work. So it doesn't matter what you do. The government will decide how much you're worth, and they will pay you that if you behave, okay? If you do everything that is required of you in order to qualify for that universal basic income. They have something like that in Cuba. They've had it for a while. Part of it is a monthly food allowance that lasts about 10 days. In a country with universal basic income, each individual gets a regular check from the government. Switzerland considered instituting a UBI of 2,500 Swiss francs, which is approximately $2,578 here. This summer, voters rejected the plan, but it sparked a broad global conversation. Also this summer, former President Barack Obama addressed the idea of a UBI, Universal Basic Income, in an interview with the director of MIT's Media Lab, Joy Ito, and Scott Dadich, editor-in-chief of Wired magazine. Whether a universal basic income is the right model, it's going to be accepted by a large amount of people. They don't know. That's a debate we'll be having for the next 10 to 20 years. So as we see the dollar come under continued pressure, we're seeing that dollar lose more and more value. We're seeing the United States spend more and more money. We're seeing inflation creep up. So any universal basic income that they decide to dole out what would it mean in terms of, or in an environment with higher prices, ever increasing prices? All right, so that's what we're dealing with here. So how do you deal with this situation? How do you turn it to your advantage? Well, one of the things that you need to do, and I've preached this a lot, you know, in terms of the life of this channel, one of the things that you need to be doing is you need to establish a business. Let's take one industry in particular that is going to be disrupted very, very soon by automation, and that is the tractor trailer delivery industry. Those drivers, those guys that are driving right now, driving these trucks, they're going to realize a situation where trucks are driving themselves. It's already started. And when that technology is perfected, when they've got enough miles under their belt in order to put these trucks out on the highways and byways of America wholesale, you're going to see a lot fewer truck drivers. Now, there are businesses that can be started in this space. One of those businesses would see maybe an individual who used to drive a truck now being sort of a fleet service operator, where he's or she is checking on the status of several trucks as they make their way across America, delivering goods and services, well, delivering goods and picking up goods as well. And if that truck runs into some difficulty, indicates that fleet service operator that is having a problem, then that operator will get involved and solve the problem, or dispatch a tow truck, or what have you, a robotic tow truck. So people have got to start thinking differently about how this whole thing is going to work. And you've got to start to understand where the economy is going. Otherwise, you're going to place yourself in a situation where you are subject to a universal basic income that's going to pay you peanuts, have you struggling for the rest of your life, and then they're going to put your kids on it, and they're going to struggle for the rest of their life. You've got to become financially independent, and that portends that you need to make a mindset switch, okay, and understand that you don't want any part of this government dole that they're building. Don't, criticize the 1%. Get out there and figure out how to be a part of the 1%. Otherwise, again, you're going to be subject to subsistence living. And they're talking about all this time. You're going to have all this time, and you're going to be freed up to write poetry and music. I don't write poetry or music. As ambitious beings, we want things. We want to strive for more. We want a sailboat. We want a big bank account. We want to be able to put our kids into a private school. We want all those things, okay? And whatever it is you want, I applaud you. I think you should have it. But I can guarantee you that a universal basic income will not help you achieve it. I guarantee you that. That'll just be something to keep you under further control and have the government dictate to you how you need to behave, how you need to act, what you need to do in order to keep getting that little check. Okay? So beware of this. It's coming. Okay? Elon is serious. He makes a lot of promises that get delayed, but a lot of them come true. He eventually does it. His mind works faster than, you know, engineering reality, but he figures it out. So these robots are coming, not just his, but Boston Dynamics as well. It's a brave new world, guys, so we got to learn how to adjust to it and thrive in it. All right, talk to you soon.